Well, folks, Donald Trump cannot get anything done, and it is truly painful at this point in the game to sit back and watch him when he gets on a microphone try to explain himself. I have never in my lifetime seen a dude so clueless. And to anybody out there that gave Dan Quayle a hard time because he misspelled potato, just go back and apologize to him right now. I'm going to go ahead and apologize. If Dan Quayle was to ever see this video, buddy, we're sorry that we ever laughed at you for not being able to spell potato. I remember laughing like hell when I was a kid at that. And I apologize, because now we live in a world where we have a president who goes out there and just puts verbal diarrhea right out on everybody's plate like it's nothing. And people sits back and cheers this dude. There's still people cheering for this. Now, we all know that Donald Trump doesn't have a health care plan. Said he had concepts of a plan, but I'm to the point that I don't even think he's got a concept. I don't even think he has a clue as to what he's doing. And I just learned a long time ago that if you don't know what you're talking about, you're better off to keep your mouth shut. But Donald Trump hasn't learned that. And in this next clip, listen to him explaining his health care plan and try to decipher whatever the hell this is.
I mean, I like my plan the best. Don't give any money to the insurance companies. Give it to the people directly. Let them go out and buy their own health care plan. And we're looking at that. If that can work, we're looking at that. That's sort of take it off. That's what I like. Don't give the money to the insurance companies. They go out and buy their own plan. You give the money to the people. I like it the best.
Are you planning to extend those subsidies?
I'd rather not. Somebody said I want to extend them for 2 years. I don't want to extend them for 2 years. I'd rather not extend them at all. And maybe some kind of an extension may be necessary to get something else done, because the Unaffordable Care Act has been a disaster. It's a disaster. And I said it was when it first got put in. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of Republican votes, and the Democrats voted for it. It's a Democrat plan. And the premiums are going up, and it's the Democrats' fault. But, you know, they are negotiating with me. It's very interesting. They want to see something happen.
Who are you talking to on the Democrats' side?
But we have a lot of Democrats want this plan to happen. They would love to see the money go to the people, and the people go out and get their own health care. And there would be nothing like it.
Yeah, what in the hell was that? We're just going to let people buy their own health care. That's the plan. You just take care of it yourself. We're going to look into that. We're going to see if that's possible. Who can listen to that and think, yeah, boy, this guy has got a really good plan. Yeah, boy, this guy is really going to help me to figure out how the hell to take care of my family and take care of my health. It's absolutely insane. And if you think that was insane, can someone explain to me what the hell he's talking about here with turkeys eating smoothies?
These are two of the largest turkeys ever presented to an American president, over 50 pounds each. It's the largest we've ever had. And those are big turkeys. Are they as good as the normal-sized turkey? Better or as good? Do they tend to be a little fatty, maybe? No, he said no. He knows the turkey business. Anyway, despite their size, Secretary Kennedy has formally certified that these are the first ever Maha turkeys. I don't know if I agree with that. These are Maha. In other words, they could be fat, but they're still Maha. They've been fattened on a steady diet of grass, beef, to allow the smoothies and all of the other things that they've been eating for this occasion. This was a really big occasion, but they've eaten every fattening food that you can eat. We wanted to really make them special, and they really are. They're like record-setting. I've never seen a turkey that big before. Are they violent at all? Will they attack as I walk over? Because if they were, I'll stay right up here.
Folks, I know that I've played a whole lot of clips around the channel, but I don't know that I've ever played one that deranged. What in the hell was that? And how does that guy still have an audience at this point in the game? You know, anytime they come out and say, this is Trump's approval rating, it's at an all-time low. When I see the number of people still supporting him, I still focus on that, and I say, wait a minute. If they said tomorrow, if they said only 2% of Americans still approve of Donald Trump, I would say, wait a minute, that's 2% too high. If they said there's one guy in Boise, Idaho that's still hanging on, there's one good old boy in Kingsport, Tennessee that still believes, I'd be like, that is one guy too many. That's one too many. No one should look at that and say that's a guy that's got strength. No one should look at that and say that's a guy that has good ideas. Maha turkeys. It's God, like it's beyond idiocracy. It truly is. I mean, you could not write this down. There's no way. There are some very creative people out there who have wrote some very creative skits. But this is real life. This is the real world. Maha turkeys. And he can't get his political opponents prosecuted no matter how hard he tries. And in this next clip, when he's trying to explain this one again, I'm just going, how does people look at this dude and think he's a winner? Take a look.
Oh, no, he's doing a great job, I think.
This week we saw those cases against James Comey and Letitia James tossed out. Do you still have faith in Lindsay Halligan?
Oh, she's great. I think she's great. They got out on a technicality, and you'll see what happens from here on. But if you look at the actual charges, I think anybody that looks at it very fairly would say, boy, are they guilty. So let's see what happens over the next week. You know, the court didn't say you couldn't bring the case, re-bring the case, or appeal the case. So they have a lot of options. They're going to call the shot. I'm not calling the shot. But Lindsay's a very talented lawyer, actually.
President on Venezuela, sir.
Again, he has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. None whatsoever. But he just throws this stuff out into the air and thinks that it will stick. And it's truly embarrassing. It's embarrassing that people are still hanging on to this guy and still looking for him to give them the answers. How miserable in this world do you have to be that you look at Donald Trump for advice and you think Donald Trump is going to be the guy that makes your life better? Let's go ahead and say, just for shits and giggles here, let's go ahead and say that you really were one of these people that thought, boy, we're going to get somebody out there who can drain the swamp. We're going to get somebody who can expose the deep state. Donald Trump is the last guy that I would ever saddle up behind to do that. I would never look at him and say, oh boy, this is our guy. This is the one that's going to be able to do it. There are so many other people in American history I could look at and say, you know what, this might be the rebel. This might be the person that might be able to bring it all to its knees. Not Donald Trump. I've never seen anyone so clueless appeal to people who are so clueless and yet thump their chest like they're the smartest people in the world. And the saddest part about all this, they're filled with all the confidence in the world, and they will go to bat for that shit, and they will sit there and they'll put a spin on it and continue to go to bat for it. And then meanwhile, you have smart, intelligent people who have lost all hope. I know people, it's like, you know, Brando, I don't know what to say these days about this. I really don't. I don't know what to say. A good friend of mine that creates content's like, I ain't made videos in a while because I can't think of what to say. And I'm like, dude, you're one of the smartest people I know. You know, you should be out there speaking you should have all the confidence in the world to speak as smart as you can. But there's these dumbasses over here that's just so empowered, just ready to go, line up behind a Maha turkey. I'm just laughing to keep from crying. That's what my Nana used to tell me when I was growing up. She always said, Brando, it's better to laugh than to cry, and that's all you can do at this point. It's truly insane that we're here. It's truly insane that people looks to this guy for strength when he cannot get jack shit done. Nothing. Can't accomplish anything. Doesn't have an idea, doesn't have a clue, doesn't have a concept, nothing. I learned a long time ago, it's just better to say out loud, I don't know. I don't know is a humble answer. And I can respect I don't know 10 to 1. But there's people out there in this world that would rather you give them just a big line of bullshit that makes them feel better about themselves. They would rather you give them that than to give them the truth that you don't know. And Donald Trump will just line up and give them bullshit. And they will take that confidence and stupidity, they will take that. And it's just truly sad that we're here. But we are, and we're going to be for a long time. Maha turkey. Yeah, Dan Quayle, we're all very sorry about that whole potato thing.